suppose the one piece of advice I would give to anyone, what I heard is like, you're never going to get rich off a wage. So again, that's why I thought I had no option in my mind to ultimately go back to a day job, if you will. This is the best way I could increase my wealth, increase my, I suppose, economic sovereignty and my time sovereignty, and then also, I suppose, my geographical sovereignty.
All right, I am here with, don't tell me, I got it, it's Connor. I already knew it. What's up, man?
Yeah, this is the second most famous Connor in Ireland.
So, tell me just where you're from, business, and then give me some numbers on where you're at.
Okay, perfect. So my name's Connor, originally from Dublin, Ireland. I currently now live in Barcelona. Spend part of my time in Dubai.
Part of your time, like once a season or something?
Just to, like everyone else, a business set up in Dubai. So
oh yeah, that's right.
I personally have to say I love Barcelona. It's where I've been living there for now the last 2 years, and I just love it. Like the people, the beach, location. For those, I'm sure your fan base is based over in the States.
Definitely in the States. Yeah.
Yeah. So
for now, but I love my people.
Yeah, Barcelona is it's an amazing city. Like in Europe, it has everything really. Like the people are amazing. It's well connected to the rest of Europe. You can go skiing in 2 hours. You can go, like, I drive motorbikes, which I love to do with my spare time. You can go to Girona, which is just north, and it's kind of like the Spanish Amalfi Coast. So I thoroughly love that. And then head to Dubai, I suppose, for business networking. Got a few friends there, and then obviously the company set up there. And what I'm currently in is trading, so day trading. I'm a day trader in the crypto space. I've been involved in this since, I suppose, early as 2016.
It's a good time to be in crypto.
But like everyone, harsh lessons learned. Yeah.
Ups and downs.
Yeah, it wasn't until the last bull run that I kind of like made money. Before then, it was just small. I was working a job, maybe earning, say, not a huge amount of money, like a very much an entry role. And I put some money in it, but like everyone else, you find out when everyone else is selling. And thank God, the last while I became wise to it.
I got into crypto for a little bit. I lost money every time. Oh my gosh! I don't want to say I hate crypto, but I've been burned and burned again. And but it's information and knowledge. But you're.
No, sorry. Yeah, no, you're dead right. Like, I think everyone gets burned. I think the thing is, in crypto, like, it's very rare for an individual to, I suppose, make their mass amount of wealth or make any wealth at all in their first cycle, because crypto seems to follow this 4-year cycle, whether it be like the World Cup, obviously coincides with the Bitcoin halving. So I suppose the first cycle, my first cycle obviously made some, lost some. Second cycle didn't make that much, and then the third cycle, 2020. The second cycle, 2020. It's where I made my money, and it wasn't through any way, say, smart investing. It was kind of like, my mother has a great strategy when she goes and does the horse racing. She'll bet on every single horse, and I kind of, because you're guaranteed to win, and I suppose that's the strategy I adopted. I pretty much spread my bets, knowing that I didn't have a huge amount of, say, intel. I was still kind of getting into it at the time. And then a few of them came good, and I sold a few, and then.
Oh, that was a good strategy. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
I suppose it's the least educated strategy, and then I suppose monitoring my emotions, greed, managing that. Obviously, I didn't sell at the absolute top.
Oh my gosh, the emotions.
Emotions, yeah, and I think that's the big thing to what I do. So I'm a day trader. Like, it's the kind of skill set in itself. It's the people who are typically successful at it. They all kind of seem to repeat the same things, which. They're not they're not you don't really get particularly good at, say, anyone can read charts, anyone can read indicators. It's very much how you can manage your emotions before getting into a trade, whilst in a trade, and then exiting a trade.
I've been at the point where I was in crypto so much, I was checking Bitcoin every single 10 minutes. And I was like, this is too much at some point.
Yeah, it's so exciting because it goes up so quick. It's extremely volatile. And I suppose that's why it attracts a lot of people. It attracts a lot of people because it's extremely volatile, which means, like, if you have a good system set up, you can, I suppose, without using crazy amount of leverage, you can really make decent returns, as opposed to, say, Forex, where it's not as volatile. Also, one thing that's brilliant about crypto, to be honest, is it's 24/7, 365. So the skill sets of say trading in forex are the exact same, but crypto
It's limited.
crypto is 24/7, 365, and you can do it anywhere in the world. Where I'm sure there's different exchanges when it comes to forex. It's obviously not my area of expertise, but in Europe with the Binance, you have all the exchange access to really all the exchanges. So yeah, and I currently I trade with say a portfolio of 40 to 50k, and I make I suppose solid returns of that. So I'm making anywhere from 2 grand to 4 grand a day on that. And then obviously there's days where I lose money, but that's kind of what I'm averaging out at right now.
That's solid. That's solid. That averages out to like what? 60. Oh no. Like maybe between 60 and 90.
Not quite, because I'll be obviously working every single day. I don't do that.
Oh yeah, of course. That makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
but
I'm thinking right.
Yeah, I typically work. Say I work. I find ups and downs. It does vary. If I haven't made my monetary targets for the month, for the week, I end up working say a bit longer, say a bit more into Sunday. But on the weekends, there's just not as much volume, so you're better off, obviously, in a perfect world, make your profits early on in the week, and then you can take the rest of the week off. But I suppose what I thoroughly love about it is like I could stare at charts all day, every day.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I'm awful. I'm awful with words. But when it comes to numbers, they're just my forte.
How did you get to a point where you're like, I like this. This is
I suppose previously I worked in I suppose a large multinational. My job was part of it was like forecasting. I think in many organizations it's called sales ops, but in the company that I work for, sales ops also did finance. And my job was to forecast a large business. It was like at the height of it, it was like doing 2.2 billion a quarter, and I had to forecast that down to, from accounts ranging from 50 million a quarter down to 25k a quarter to 500k a quarter. So I suppose it really, that's where in terms of forecasting, predicting the future, I've been lucky enough. My dad always kind of had me looking at stocks, so I've always been, he uses the buy.
he planted the seed. It was your dad.
Whether he realized it or not, because he yeah, he doesn't necessarily, he thinks like crypto, like everyone does. Like it was when they first hear it, and when they hear day trading, it's like it's gambling, and it can be gambling. Like you can lose money extremely quickly, and it can really entice that kind of behavior, because again, easy come, easy go. You can earn a lot of money very quick, but also you can lose a lot of money very quick. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I could look at numbers and charts all day, every day, and I think the biggest thing about, say, being a decent trader, as I said, it's controlling your mind, but ultimately it's having patience, because the good traders, it's not like they trade everything. They have maybe one or two setups that they play, and they just play that over and over again. So I'm early in this game, I suppose, but yeah, I'm just trying to perfect my plays, and and then really build a career out of this, because it gives me the independence of time, if you will. Like technically, I suppose sometimes my strategy comes up for the first 5 minutes of my day, and other times it might take 10 to 8 hours. Complete dependent. But yeah, so that's why I thoroughly enjoy do anywhere in the world. It's not necessarily mapped to your time, which the wealthy always say is like you shouldn't necessarily trade your time for money. You don't do that with that, and it is.
You don't?
No, I suppose.
Oh, because it varies.
It completely varies, and also it's completely scalable too. Because if you can do this, if you can make 1% off, a 10,000 account, you can make 1% off a million account, and obviously that's how you can increase your daily income.
Doing this for how long?
I suppose I've been balls deep in day trading since the start of the year, but I've been really trading since 2020.
Okay. How long? If I was, someone would start today, took it seriously, how long before they're like they can make a livable earning? And I guess it varies, maybe.
Yeah. So advice that I give to anyone starting off is like the beautiful thing about, say, trading is you can trade with, again, as I said, $1 million or in your account, or you can trade with 100 euros or dollars. So what I'd recommend is, put $100 into that account, do some online course, get a mentor if you can, look at YouTube videos. There's a wealth of information on the technicals. Blow that $100 because everyone blows their first. Well, not everyone. Thank God I didn't. But I'd recommend starting extremely small. I'd recommend starting with your money, because when you trade with there's a lot of options to trade with fake money, or say a fake fake money, until you kind of learn the ropes, learn the exchanges, learn the systems. But you really, I suppose, it has a different emotional bearing upon you when you trade with your real money. So, again, I'd recommend.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. There you go. I think we all know and that's the thing. I suppose what makes it, a good trader or a bad trader is it's how you control your emotions in and out of a trade. Because it's obviously when you see the money go up to crazy heights or you hit your stop loss, make sure that you take that stop loss. And yeah, so again, start extremely small. Don't quit your job for sure, because again, you have to be so conscious of your emotional state while you're doing this. So any kind of, I suppose, anything that can have an influence on that. And if you just quit your job and you're solely focusing on that, you're obviously going to be 10 times more emotional when that money goes
Attached. Yep. You're dependent.
Yeah, completely dependent. So start small, blow through a few accounts. If you can consistently make profits, then start to slowly increase that fund, and then
How long does it take to get decent? Maybe.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't give a specific time, because again, like say for example, I wouldn't be able to give a specific time, but it's like with anything. Like you have guys who can make it extremely quick, and extremely quick would probably be a year, because most traders, I think the stats, like 95 or 99% of traders lose. Most of them lose.
99% of traders lose. Jeez, you're in the 1%.
I don't know, but that's what they say, right?
Okay,
Again,
so
I'm early days, so who knows? I could be part of that 95.
so every time you win a trade, does someone else lose?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the I suppose that's the fallacy that we live in, right? When it comes
Wow, that's so interesting. That's
so
interesting.
that's the thing, I suppose, when it comes to like all these whatever you're buying, say stocks, gold, like someone has to, it's player versus player. There's a lot of say big people that talk about this. It's player versus player. Like you need to buy low, sell high, but in order to sell high, you need someone to buy it at that price, and they're ultimately losing, right? Or unless they hold on to it and it goes up forever for some other person to buy at that higher price, or if you're shorting at the lower price, So yeah.
Well, you've showed you know your stuff, which is awesome. What would you say, just in a general sense, for people that are like entrepreneur building a business? What have you found, like, what word of wisdom, or like they say data set at this mastermind? What kind of master key have you found to help you succeed to where you are?
I suppose in my situation, I was like, I've always been, I've had a wealth of business before this. I've pretty much tried my arm at everything, whether it be drop shipping. I even owned a balcony business company at one stage. But I got made redundant from Facebook through all the job losses. So I suppose I was put in a position where it was sink or swim, and I always wanted to do my own thing. So I was my back was up against the wall, and that really served me, because I play sports, so I usually like to perform when in the big games, and I suppose that was really in my mind I had no other option. As Eminem says, success was my only option, failure wasn't, and that honestly helped me, because again, like I said before, it is a bit of an emotional game. So whatever stories you tell yourself in your head, but I suppose the one piece of advice I would give to anyone, what I heard is, like, you're never going to get rich off a wage. So again, that's why I thought I had no option in my mind to ultimately go back to a day job, if you will. Like, who knows, I might do that in time. But currently, right now, I think this is the best way I could increase my wealth, increase my, I suppose, economic sovereignty and my time sovereignty, and then also, I suppose, my geographical sovereignty.
In the tough moments, I'm sure there was some at some point in the journey. What would you say is something that helped you push through those?
I suppose belief, like you gotta back yourself. Like, you'd really have to back yourself. And again, like I said, in my mind, there was no other option. Like, really no other option. So I believed in myself somewhat, but I really thoroughly knew that like deep down in my heart, there was no other option.
Conviction.
And it's funny how, like, trading such a mind game. Like, I got lucky at the very start. Like, I made a lot of money again, because there was no other option. But then when I went to this psychological barrier of some number like random number that I built. Okay, when I make it to X amount, well, then I can start buying stupid things, and like everyone does, And say for example, it took me, say, 2 weeks to get 90% of the way there to the target, and then maybe it took me another 2 months to get to that final 10%, because I was just playing in my own head, which was which I thought was funny because it's like no other business in that sense. Which with e-commerce, you usually have say some consistent sales, or it's not as much of a mind game. I personally think, or maybe I could be wrong, as trading is.
Last question: has money being pretty successful financially, has that brought you happiness? Does money bring happiness?
I would say, like, personally, I can actually live off like a not a huge amount of money. Like as you kind of alluded to earlier on, I love motorbikes. I love living in a nice climate, and you don't really need a crazy amount of money to do that. So I'm very fortunate. I have my health. I have, I suppose, my wealth. I earn like a base to satisfy my lifestyle, and everyone in my family is also healthy. So I'm very fortunate in that sense. So I'm happy. I wouldn't say more money has brought me any more happiness, but it has definitely allowed me to live a more fulfilled life, and it's definitely allowed me to help more of my friends and family in and around, and inspire them, if you will, but yeah, so I suppose it's not directly related, but they're definitely not mutually exclusive, for sure. Yeah.
Final words.
No, man, I wish you the best with your channel, and so cool to meet you here at this wonderful event. I think we're meeting so many cool people, so I suppose best luck to you and whoever's watching. Honestly, best luck to them too.
Thank you. This is a good guy right here. When you get a channel, I got you.
Thank you so much, honestly. Thank you.